Hello. Future me, obviously editing me, you could tell, is just here to say that we're trying something a little bit different this time with the video. As you are aware, time constraints were really low, so it's not Hollywood quality audio in terms of reading. That will improve. I used to do this for a living for Prima Games and HyperX as well. So I will get my flow when I have a little bit more time, but I just wanted to kind of test the waters and see how you guys like this. And I figured since this last week has been a horrific week for MS, that why not start with a piece that I wrote at Game Informer that I am very, very, very proud of, and it gives me an excuse to talk about Mass Effect. So we're going to talk about Mass Effect. Enjoy. Back to the video.
Hey guys, it's Liana here, and today I wanted to talk about one of my favorite pieces that I wrote over on Game Informer, and that's how playing through the Mass Effect Legendary Edition helped me see Thane's story in a different way that helped me also come to terms with my MS. While I have over 40 playthroughs of the original trilogy, something about the Mass Effect Legendary Edition remaster has made Thane's storyline hit closer to home than I have ever felt before. There are a lot of subtle changes in Mass Effect 2 and 3 that put entirely new perspectives on familiar narrative arcs, and because of those changes, I found a new level of peace when struggling with my multiple sclerosis. For those that may not know, multiple sclerosis, or MS, is a disease where a person's immune system eats away at the body's nerves and the protective layer that covers them. This disease disrupts the body in a variety of different ways, some we as a scientific community are still discovering. For me, I can go from being able to run 2 miles with no issue to not being able to leave a wheelchair. It really just kind of depends. There are days where I literally cannot even get out of bed because the crushing pain in my lower spine is so much that it feels like I'm literally being gutted from behind. While some that have MS can experience a life symptom-free, that's not necessarily the case for everyone. For me, it's been a battle to hell and back, but Thane's unique introduction into the world of Mass Effect actually has offered a calm that I wasn't expecting, especially after so many playthroughs. Thane Krios is a Drell assassin that players will meet in Mass Effect 2 for the first time. He's not your typical assassin, though.
Not like other assassins.
When players first meet him, he takes out his target, and this is where we get to see his spiritual perspective and insight that is pretty specific to his species, but also uniquely Thane. To Shepard's surprise, he offers a reverent prayer for himself over the wicked before moving on. When he accepts Shepard's invite onto the Normandy, he explains that he's not concerned about being a one-way trip. The reason being is he has an incurable disease that is unique to the Drell, a disease called Keppel syndrome. While not like MS, this lung disease does eventually cause symptoms that can and do lead to death. His calming manner of discussing his own illness and desire to contribute to the world as best he can before he goes hit me like a drop kick to the chest. In my day-to-day life, I do my best to soak everything in. Between the lesions on my brain and seizures that can sometimes happen, I've had more than a few close calls with my own Reaper. It makes me terrified, honestly. There have been days where I thought, this is it. I don't think I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. I've panicked and pleaded with my then husband not to let me die if I stopped breathing, or maybe couldn't stop seizing. Those moments where I was terrified I was missing out on even more when I would have memory wipes that can sometimes last a full day. It makes me appreciate the day-to-day, but it also makes me impatient in a way that can sometimes be uncomfortable. I'm always looking out for the next quote-unquote accomplishment because I want to get as much life done in my time, if that time is limited as it feels. And let's be honest, as limited as doctors have told me in the past. I can sometimes step on a lot of toes because I just want to help and I want to feel useful and like I've made some kind of a positive impact. While the intent, of course, is good, the result is oftentimes me ending up with those around me annoyed, feeling isolated, or feeling like I kind of in a bull in a china shop. I've spent so much of my past living to die with my past attempts that now I find myself dying to live in a way that I still haven't quite processed. But playing through Thane's story in Mass Effect 2 and 3 with the remaster has given me a fresh perspective that I wasn't ready for, but one that I think I desperately needed. As he reached out to his son to right the wrongs that have damaged their relationship within the game, I felt my own shortcomings with friends and those closest to me. As he selflessly helped those around him despite grave danger to himself, I felt a strange sort of strength. He didn't let it dim his light and his ability to do good, and I want to do the same. I want to be open and honest and free with my love regarding those around me, something that I think we all struggle with. I want the calm and acceptance that he has, because that acceptance doesn't come with resignation. I am not my disease, just as he wasn't his. There's a power in that, and I think it's really incredible.
Video games, am I right?
This series, honestly, as a Mass Effect trilogy as a whole, just keeps surprising me. As I continue to add on playthroughs to my ongoing record, I love alternating between both Shepherds because I get different things out of the storyline each time. In all of that time, I continue to uncover new aspects of the game, new consequences for actions, and new details that I have seemingly missed. The Legendary Edition really did take those discoveries to a whole new level, adding details that were never there for me, either through visual upgrades or much needed quality of life changes to make it a smoother ride. And to be able to play through this series that feels like home and still find new ways to be excited is a treat. And that's a big reason why the N7 community is stronger than it has ever been.
If you have any instances where a character or a game series helped you with something pretty heavy in your life, feel free to drop that in the comment section below. I'd love to learn more about you and your journey and connect on a more human level.